Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of 5 for this series for our Social Simplified, the Endless Content Formula. We are talking about EIEIO, the formula that we use to earn the right to sell online. I just saw something on Instagram earlier that says people always talk about needing to create a social media campaign or to plan out your content, but nobody shows you how. Well, this right here is accessible for everyone. It is how to plan a proper social media campaign that's easy, simple, unique to you, and it will earn your right to sell online. And it is almost like a social media funnel. So let's get started. I am going to share my screen, hop over to E is for entertainment. All right. So, if you've been following along, we have done 2 others, and this is the third of 5. So there's 2 more to come after this. But right now we're focusing on E is for entertainment, and we're going to give you some background. So if you haven't watched the other 2, I highly recommend that you go back and watch those 2. And of course, download and watch the other 2 that are coming in the next month. So, this is 3 of 5, Social Simplified. This is the way we simplify our social media. And it's how we encourage you to simplify yours. So if you're a small business owner, this is invaluable for teaching you how to write a series of posts that are strung together, that have a common purpose and a goal and an objective, and move someone through that little funnel in order for them to want to buy from you, whatever it is, service, sign up for an event, or buy a product. So I've said this in the other 2, and I'll say it again in the next 2, but the background of EIEIO, my mom started a meetup group about 15 years ago called DFW Social Media Marketing. And I was the ticket taker, and I would sit there and I would learn all the things from all these social media experts that were coming in to talk to us, to teach us how to market our business. And in my notebook, I was just, taking notes one day and highlighting, and I noticed that over the last few months prior to that meetup, people were talking about entertaining content and educational content, inspiring, and how to inform your audience and making your offers and all of this. And I noticed that I could make the acronym EIEIO. And I literally pulled all that together about 8 years ago, and I've used this acronym ever since. It's one of those things that's tried and true. And when I'm posting on social media, I think, have I already informed them? Have I informed them? Do I need to entertain them or educate them or inspire them? Or do I just need to tell them, buy my thing and make the offer? So I go through this little mental checklist if I'm posting on the fly or if I'm creating a campaign. This is a 5-post campaign, and the EIEIO is an acronym for the 5 parts of the endless content formula. E is for educate. I'm sorry. Yeah. E is for education. I is for inspiration. E is for entertainment. I is for information, and O is for offer. So informative or inform and offer, those 2 are coming. Right now, we're going to talk about entertainment. So, the endless content formula just organizes your thoughts so that your monthly posts earn you the right to sell online. And if you're looking at the top 9 posts on your Instagram feed, you can kind of lay out that acronym like this. So EIEI, O is in the center, and then EIEI. And of course, you can keep going. But the top 9 posts, or the most recent posts on your Instagram platform, when somebody comes to your profile, those top 9 are what they see. So if you use this acronym, which has all been evolving over time. So in the last 8 years, 10 years, however long it's been since I came up with this, a long time ago, I didn't know about this. I didn't lay it out like this. I didn't think about that. I did do it in this order, but until I started doing it over and over again over the years, did I even realize how great it actually was? So EIEIO, EIEIO, just repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. But the focus of your EIEIO campaign, that 5 posts strung together, doesn't have to be the same offer every time. You can educate, inspire, entertain, inform, and offer about a product you sell, about a service you provide, about an event that you have coming up. You can just change it, but use the same outline. So EIEIO, the endless content formula, social simplified, whatever you want to call it, it's the art of selling. Okay. The art of selling is to make your product or service or event relevant to your customer. And the way that you do that is you walk them through these pieces. You've got to educate them on what it is that you're selling. You got to inspire them to want to buy it or sign up or attend. You need to entertain them and make them laugh or tell them a story, and you'll see that later on in the class. You need to inform them. What is it? What are they going to get out of it? And then, oh, it's just here is where you buy it. Here's where you sign up. So let's keep going. All right. The endless content formula is a series of 5 content categories that can be repeated over and over and over again. So far, we've covered education and inspiration. I don't know why my little picture is not showing up, but education and inspiration. And today we're going to talk about entertainment. The endless content formula allows you to stretch that singular focus into a series of engaging captions and posts that increase your engagement and your reach. That whole stretching a singular focus is the part that I think resonates with small business owners the most, because social media marketing is something that you tend to put off on the back burner. You're like, okay, I made cakes all day. I don't have the energy to sell them. Plus, how many times can I talk about a cake? What am I going to say? What's different? Flour, water, sugar, bake, over and over again. Well, if you educate people on your cakes and the ingredients in them, then you inspire them by maybe a reel of someone eating it, or carrying it and singing happy birthday, or your cake as the center of attention at some cool event. And then you entertain them by maybe like a reel of someone smashing the cake, or your mixer mixing, or the ingredients going in, or something that's a little bit more engaging. Then you inform them on your cake's range and price from this or whatever, or you bake cakes in this kitchen and you sell on Thursdays, Friday, whatever the information is that they need to know about your business. And then you offer, buy a cake here, order a cake here. Then you've been able to talk about your business in 5 different ways that doesn't bore people. Earning the right to sell just means that you're not turning people off by boring them or being too salesy. Oftentimes people just tend to skew towards the pretty pictures of the cake, and maybe they don't sell at all. And so the people that see these cakes are like, yeah, but how do I get one of these? Or some people just say, buy my cake, buy my cake, buy my cake, and they turn people off. So I put the little balance in the background because there is a balance. And when you cover all 5 bases of EIEIO, then you're earning the right to sell, because you're moving them through that process to where they're like, oh my gosh, where do I sign up? That's what you want. You want people just raising their hand all day long. And by the time you finally get to the offer post, they're like, yes, I need 12 of them. That's what we all want. So, question. Are you, or were you, prior to these last couple of slides, one of those that think a plan means that you're chained, you're restrained, you're going to be boring, it's too contrived or whatever? Just note that the rest of this presentation is going to really squash this whole notion. I was one person that said plan was a 4-letter word. I don't have time to plan. I don't even have time to really get dressed and look cute and put my earrings on. I mean, I'm just trying to go through the motions as a small business owner, right? So much less this plan. And plus, sometimes I have a really great idea and I want to slap it up on social media. Well, you can still do that, but you still need that planned content. Even if it's the 5 posts, doesn't mean it has to be 5 days in a row. You can post something random in between here and 2 posts in between here. It doesn't matter. But those posts over time get seen by people and it walks them through the process of buying from you. So plans are not a 4-letter word. The word plan is, but don't think of them as a bad thing. You are going to really see an uptick in your conversion when you just sit down and think through a 5-post series about a singular focus, and we'll show you that here on the next couple of screens. So here's our Social Simplified worksheet right here. So this is what your worksheet looks like. And I mean, literally, you print this out. You can do it in black and white, whatever. But the art of selling is to make your product or service relevant to your customer. And right now, we're talking about the second E in the EIEIO formula, endless content formula. This is how you make social simplified. People say, oh my gosh, everybody's always telling me how to you need to create a campaign, you need to create a plan, but nobody shows me how to do that. Well, here at Next Chapter Social, we are all about showing you how to do that and making it accessible so that you can market your business like a professional. This is literally what Angela and I use to market our businesses and how we market Next Chapter Social, clearly, and how we help market our clients' businesses. This is what we talk about in Social Club and all of that. So let me just go through very briefly the parts of the worksheet. Your focus, it goes right here. We will talk about a focus later on, and I'll give you an example and a goal. You want this focus to be a singular product, a singular service, or a singular event. And then you want to walk them through that. We think that 9 posts is a really good number of posts to market a certain product. 9 posts spread out over 30 days, which is a month, is plenty for most people. And it allows you space on the calendar to have those little harebrained ideas or those, oh my gosh, I got to post about this moments. But if you plan this, then 9 is something you can get through at a coffee shop over a venti latte or whatever. If you drink a cup of coffee, plan this out, schedule it. You can do this in one venti Starbucks cup of coffee. Okay. So come up with your whatever you're focused on just for these 9 posts. That doesn't mean that's all you're going to post about that month. You can post about whatever you want. So get rid of that notion that you're tied or restrained or, oh my gosh, if I only talk about that one thing, what about these other 20 things that I sell? Calm down. It's going to be fine. Just nine posts about one thing. You can sprinkle other stuff in, but these things are what you're going to schedule so that while you're sleeping at night and while you're going to the water park this summer with your kids or whatever, this is working for you. And it is the way professionals do it. So just do as I say and try it. You're going to love it. And it is social simplified. This is the endless content formula. You'll never run out of things to say, and you'll say it right, and people won't be noping out of your content. So educate, inspire, and now we're on entertain and entertain. So let's keep going. If you can remember EIEIO, like I've remembered all these years, then you can be a pro at content marketing for your business. Just remember that. E is for entertainment. The art of selling is to make your product or service relevant to your customer. You have to make your product or service or upcoming event relevant to your customer. Have you ever seen someone try to sell something and you're like, they're just shouting at you and you're like, what's in it for me? We don't want to do that. Entertaining your audience is crucial to selling your product, service, or inviting someone to attend an event. Entertaining content engages your audience. It grabs their attention. longer than just a singular picture or something, and it creates a positive emotional connection. If somebody is positively tied to your business, they're more apt to buy from you. Now, it seems like really, in the cloud or whatever, but we're really going to bring this home in the next few slides. Entertaining content is the beginning of the path to purchase. If you can get them to stay on your content and like laugh out loud or watch your emotional story or see themselves in a story that you're telling or something like that, or laugh at a meme or share a meme, whatever, then you're more likely to keep that client longer, and they're going to stick around to see the inspiring and the education and the informative and the offer post. So make your target audience aware that you exist. Entertaining content is often the thing that goes viral, or the thing that is viral, or the thing that gets shown to people beyond who are already following you, especially video and reels. So I'll repeat this here in a little bit, but when you're watching reels on your phone, okay, you got your phone and you're literally going to Instagram and you're clicking on reels at the bottom. When you're on that reel feed and you're scrolling through, I want you to see how many of those reels are by creators that you follow. Oftentimes, they aren't people you follow. Every once in a while, they will pop up. But most of the reels that you're seeing are based on interest. So if somebody is interested in learning how to market their business online and they're not following Next Chapter Social, but our reel is about making social media simplified, then our reel is going to be shown to those people searching for that because that's their interest. Now, people who aren't following us are seeing our stuff. So that's what that means. And I'm going to show you actual insights and stuff later. Think about your customers' pain points and the emotions that they're experiencing. Our clients are haggard, they're overwhelmed, they feel insecure, they're fearful of doing it wrong. They are anxious about even trying because it just seems like such a mountain that they can't overcome it. So those are some of the things that our people are experiencing. And we deliver solutions in an interesting and amusing way through our entertaining content. So my favorite way to deliver entertaining content that speaks to those customer pain points and that still sells my product and or services and delivers solutions in that interesting and amusing way. My favorite way to do this, drum roll, remixing viral reels. Okay. I do this for clients. I do this for ourselves, but we remix them. Now we either reuse the exact same reel, we just shove it over and like, oh my gosh, this fits perfect. We reimagine it in some way. We move some things around, change the words, or we redo it. We take this idea of this viral reel and we refilm it with ourselves as the subject. I've got examples of all three. All right, so Plano Dots is an account that we, let's see if I can't figure out what's going on here. Plano Dots is an account that we manage, and the Plano Dots account is so fun. And I often find myself wanting to reuse reels on their account. And there it is. So let me present this big again so you can see it. All right, so this is the reel on Plano Dots that I posted. Their audience is middle-aged women, small business owners. A lot of times, maybe I didn't put this, but people that have moved to the area and looking to connect with people. They're looking for a genuine group to join, a networking group that's not like, here's my business card, that kind of thing. They're often fed up with typical networking groups. She doesn't want to waste her time with surface friendships and meaningless relationships. So I found this reel, this viral reel, and it talks about the difference between fitting in and actually belonging. You don't have to try to fit into dots. They're all about belonging as you are. So I thought, oh my gosh, this is like exactly the Plano dots. So, middle-aged women business owners giving sound advice. This is a middle-aged business owner giving sound advice about trying to fit in to a group of people. She's appealing to the emotional side, those pain points that people are experiencing that find dots. And this is a viral reel that is an interesting solution to a problem women experience in most networking groups. Opens the door for us to talk about how we are different in the caption. So here's the reel, and it slayed. It was really good. So I'm going to show you. Note, how many views did the viral reused reel get when compared to the other reels that week? So here is the Plano Dots feed, reel feed. And I want you to just pay attention to all the views, okay? 400, 200, 100, 400, 100, almost 300, 2,500, and then 300. The viral reels are like, it's the difference is, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. There you go. So, if that doesn't kind of hit that home, then I don't know what will. And let me show you this slide. So here it is, right? You've got, the reel itself. Here are the insights. 2,473 people played it. We got 65 likes, 4 comments, 25 shares, and 19 people saved it. The biggest number that I want you to see, and the most important of anything, is right here. And I talked about this earlier about entertaining content getting shown to people beyond who are actually following you. So we reached 2,100 accounts, but 95% of the people who saw this reel were non-followers. Dots only has like 300 followers. 300 total on the account, but 2,100 saw it. So when you create entertaining content that talks about a solution to a pain point in an interesting and or amusing way, you're going to get people seeing that aren't already following your account, and therefore you're going to get more eyeballs on your account, more follows, more engagement, and more reach. So here's something on our account. This is us reimagining a viral reel. So I saw this little, this poor thing right here, this little dog. And I thought, oh my gosh, I got to use that because it stopped the scroll. My jaw dropped. I was like, that is the cutest, ugliest thing I've ever seen. I'm not even a dog person, but I would rescue this little guy. But anyways, so I use these words when you've already given your all and it's only Wednesday. So next chapter social, middle-aged women, small business owners, they're exhausted from ping-ponging between all the tasks. They're momming and housewifing and trying to build this business and make enough money to, take their family on an epic vacation, whatever they're doing. They've got big dreams and not a lot of time. Social media marketing is always an afterthought. Sometimes she's on fire and sometimes she's this little dog. Okay. So this viral reel, I knew would be relatable. It's humorous, again, interesting and amusing. It will stop the scroll because it stopped the scroll on me. And I am the avatar for our ideal audience. Our audience is me. So this is a viral reel that's an interesting solution to a problem our audience experiences all the time. It opens the door for us to talk about our time-saving, effective marketing solutions in the caption. So if you notice, what do you notice? 100, 800, 500, 400, 8,000. Holy crap, the reimagined viral reel outperformed all other reels. Shocker. And this is like real screenshot taken just a couple of days ago. And wow, I mean, I don't even know what that percentage uptick is, but it's big. So let's just talk about the insights. 8,000 people, 8 saves, 94 shares. That means 94 people shared this reel to their social media. And then that reel got seen by all of those people's social media followers. But the kicker, again, 97% of the people that saw this reel were not following us, which is huge. And I can tell you, let's see, how many followers do we have? I don't know at the moment, so I'm going to look. Let's see. We have 1,150. Exactly. 1,150, but 6,600 accounts were reached. So, and just so you know, real plays include replays. So 8,000 people watched this reel, or this reel was watched 8,000 times, but some of those were duplicates. Like I watched the reel 3 times and I was the one that made it. So, if you get repeat watches, then those don't count. Okay, and here's one I just recently did, and I was like, ooh, good. That's a good example of a redo. So there was this viral reel using this viral audio, this trending audio, and I saw a lady do this whole look around from her computer screen. Okay, well, obviously, I didn't want to use that lady because it wasn't me, and that's weird. So again, next chapter social, those are all of our pain points, don't have a lot of money to put into their business. They've never really successfully marketed their business or themselves online. They don't really know how to market. They just know that there's this thing called social media and you're supposed to put like reels or something on it, but that's about the extent. They don't understand the plan or the EIO or anything like that. So they don't really know a lot about social media marketing other than they need it, and they get frustrated because they don't know how to do it. So this reel is relatable. It hits kind of hard. That means it's a little controversial, which we'll talk about on a later slide. And most of our audience has probably thought of this before, like, I'll just get my teenager that knows how to post. Well, it opens this door for us to talk about why hiring a novice or a teenager is not a good idea. So, just so you can see kind of how it performed with regard to the other posts. But what I want you to see here is this one right here was a reimagined viral reel. So Zach Galifianakis, or however you say his name, we used a little bit different words on it. It got 2,200 plays. Okay, the re-filmed or redone reel, like it's just using the audio, only got about 700, but it still outperformed all the rest of them, right? So the only one that outperformed this one was the one that was just reimagined, okay? Reused and reimagined tend to get more love because of that one's already gone viral. This one was completely fresh new content. This one is going to get shared less because this one is already trending on the internet. So just keep that in mind. But we vary it. We use all of them. We're not a one hit wonder. We are constantly varying it. So 320 accounts reached. 70% of those people were non-followers. That's really, really good. And see, like I said, no one shared the one of my face, but the Zach Galifianakis one, that one got shared a lot. So, how to make your content more entertaining? Here are some tips. Embrace the whole controversy thing. Me telling people about how it's insulting when you look at me and say, "Oh, we'll just get our teenager to post for us." Okay. Well, you're basically telling me that my entire career is useless and a teenager could do it, and that I'm, you know, I have no expertise, but let's put it that way. So I say that in the caption, which probably makes people think twice before saying that again. But it also makes them think twice about the actual expertise needed to move the needle. So telling stories, you want to tell your stories, you want to tell your client stories, you want to use metaphors. Now, I'm going to say something that's super controversial, but I like to watch these shows my husband calls murder shows. Well, when I watch those shows, the serial killer never starts off as a serial killer, right? The serial killer usually starts off with like, you know, doing something little at first and then dipping his toe in and then getting worse. And then once he is a killer, he kills multiple times, thus the word serial killer. Well, you're probably wondering where I'm going with this. People sell Okay, or I'm sorry, buying behaviors online or buying behaviors in general, people have to have a certain exposure to your brand or to that thing. They say 5 to 7 times before they actually buy. Well, they start with something small. In marketing world, that's called a tripwire. If you get someone to buy something for like 5, 10, $20, even like $30, something small, the likelihood that they're going to buy from you again and buy something more expensive is like 60 or 70% more likely. I'm kind of making that up, but you know what I mean. So if you can if you can entertain them, dip their toe in the water, right? And they're just like perusing. Then you walk them through this EIEI funnel until you offer them your thing. Let's say your thing is, a $10 download, okay? Then they have this download, then like, ooh, I want to take the whole class. Well, the class might be $350. Then they take the class and they're like, oh my gosh, that was so powerful. But now I want them to hold my hand. I'm going to sign up for their group coaching. Then they sign up for their group coaching, which is a little bit more expensive. And then they're like, you know what? I'm ready for one-on-one coaching, which is the highest level. Okay. Serial killers start small, right? And then they keep doing bad things. Well, for me as a buyer, I keep doing bad things. I'm like, ooh, now I want more. Ooh, I need more. I need more. I need to do that again. I need to learn about it again. So it makes sense in my mind. But guarantee you that's a metaphor and that's a story. And it may or may not be relatable, but I guarantee you won't forget it. So focus on practical search for topics, not like how serial killers are like a buying pattern. Don't search for that. But practical search for topics like social media marketing for your small business, how to do your social media marketing easier. Those are search for topics that are practical and accessible. Include images and video. Duh. Okay, we all like video more than images. It keeps our attention. We call it taking up more digital real estate. An image is like you can scroll past it. A video takes longer to linger. You're lingering longer. So it's a bigger file. It takes longer to consume. People hang around, and that hang time is what increases your reach. Instagram's like, oh, wait a minute. Somebody sat on that for 20 minutes or 20 seconds or 14 seconds. She must really like that topic. I'm going to show her more of those things. That's how the algorithm works. Instagram didn't tell me that, but I just know it. So write in a casual, personal voice. If I was talking to you right now and using big words and not telling you stories that are a little controversial, like this serial killer thing, then you might not relate to me and you won't want to take the other 2 classes in this series. You might not want to go back and watch the other ones. But let me tell you, if you're just a real person, the most human company wins. Don't be so stiff. Be a normal person. Don't be afraid to mess up. Don't be afraid to fall out of the norms and go with your intuition, try new things, and have a sense of humor. Um, Throw in some surprises. I think this slide was pretty surprising. So here again is our social simplified template. Again, 9 posts. This is what the billboard looks like, your top 9 posts on Instagram or your most recent. But let's talk about Social Club as our product. And our goal is we want to get 12 new members. This is the same example we used in the last class. But now we're going to talk about entertaining content and how we sold this product with entertaining remixed viral reels. So what are our social club members' pain points? They're overwhelmed. They feel overlooked. They're insecure in their ability to use social media to market their business. We need to solve the problems by emphasizing the Social Simplified plan, the support, coaching, and guidance that we offer, and the results our members are getting online. So we need to talk about the results and how we coach you and how we have a Social Simplified plan. So we have all the things that help you overcome these 3 pain points. What kind of viral reels we need to be on the lookout for? So if I was sitting down with my latte, pretend my protein shake here is a latte. Let's say I was at the coffee shop. I would make a list of the kind of viral reels that I would look for that would speak to a person with this pain point or these pain points. So reels about maybe having someone in your corner, because we are in your corner. When you're stressing and you don't know what to post, we're there for you. So maybe something like that. I don't know, just brainstorming. Supportive groups and how that can help you come up with ideas, helping others by sharing online. Sometimes we need to get out of our own head and realize that if we don't post online, we are not helping others to achieve their dreams and their goals. So if I don't teach these classes, then there's somebody out there that isn't going to get this knowledge, and this might be the knowledge they need to unlock a door, right? I'm going to tell you another story really quick. There is this unsolved mystery about these like 8 or 9 college age, high school age hikers that like in the 40s or something like that went to this really remote like Antarctica area, and they never came back. And they found that they were like all scattered around and the tent was ripped and some of them didn't have clothes on, and these weird things that had happened to them like months later when they finally found these young folks that had gone out hiking. And it's like a 70-year mystery. Well, just last night I was watching a show that said one thing that just struck me as crazy, because these hikers or whatever, I think, oh my gosh, a ghost got them, or, a Yeti, or, some crazy thing like that that the show was talking about. But this other instance of this hiker gone missing in this other show that I was watching years later said that when people, are dying of hyperthermia, right before they pass away, their body feels very hot, very hot. They feel like it's a sensation of overwhelming heat. So they take their clothes off. So this guy that passed away of hyperthermia had taken his shirt off. And that was a telltale sign that he had died of hyperthermia. Well, in this show about the Bigfoot or Yeti that supposedly killed these hikers, the reason why they were found without their clothes on is because right before they passed away, they felt hot. I put that together in my mind, and it was just like a aha moment. So if you don't share on social media, here I am bringing it back home. If you don't share on social media, people aren't going to have those little aha moments. Now, my aha moment last night didn't mean a hill of beans. It didn't teach me anything. It made a connection between television shows. But I watch things on Instagram and YouTube all the time that I'm like, oh, that is so amazing. That's going to help me. I just watched a Canva hack earlier that I'm going to use tomorrow. So if you don't post, you're not allowing someone else to have an aha with your content that's going to make a difference in their world. You got to show up online. The difference you can make in lives of others. Funny, sticking your head in the sand. Okay, so what kind of viral reels could I look for that would bring it home about social club? Well, our social media clients, whether they're coaching clients or we do their social, whatever, they have been sticking their head in the sand like an ostrich, just hoping that someone will find them. So if I can find a viral reel about an ostrich sticking his head in the sand, then that would be a perfect one to reimagine with my own verbiage. Sitting on the couch doing nothing. So this is where I kind of switched my mindset. Not only do we want to speak to solving their problems, but we want to speak to if they don't solve their problems, then this is what they will look like, or this is what will happen. They'll still be sitting on the couch doing nothing. No orders coming in, no dings on their phone. They're stuck. They'll just stay stuck. 5 years from now, they'll look back and go, man, I wish I would have started back then. They're not progressing, or they're going to continue to overwork because they don't know what they're doing and they're doing everything very inefficiently and it's not moving the needle forward. So we also need reels that may be about working smart. I don't know. So here are the three that we actually came up with. And you'll see that, they work pretty well. Let's dive into these examples. So if social media marketing is always last on our list, we need to show her that there's an easier way. So this was a reimagined viral reel, and I'm going to click on this. Hold on. Let's see. I'm going to exit out of here. Let's go over to this. Oh my good Lord. Okay, so what you notice here is it's a guy mowing the grass. You wouldn't ever think to put that together with social media, but we found a way because we were looking for it. If only I could find a way to make this task more fun and a whole lot more easier, or a whole lot easier. Here's a 5-day Instagram content formula to make your digital marketing easier and more efficient. And then we walk them through that. Educate, inspire, entertain, inform, and offer. So we're talking about that over and over again. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so this is Angeline, and she is using, she's refilmed a viral reel. So we're appealing to her on an emotional level that we get it and they aren't alone in their insecurities or their overwhelm. So let me click on this.
Minute you think it's a comedy, next minute it's an emotional journey, then it's got sort of a thriller aspect to it. 1 minute you think it's a comedy, next minute it's an emotional journey, then it's a
Okay, so in the caption, obviously, we expand on that. And then here's our next one. And this is hilarious. And I was looking for someone working really hard. If you watch this here in a second, you're going to see that she's giving it her all. So small business owners want to feel visible and influential and relevant. They need to know we can help them do that without having to strip on a street corner. So ladies, you don't have to work this hard. Let us help you get noticed on Instagram. So this is a viral reel that I've reimagined with words that resonate with our account.
On my mama, on my hood, I look fly, yeah, I look good. Touch my swag, I look fly, hey, I look good. Call it on the neck, well, get there on the stopwatch, staring at the diamonds, looking pussy, baby, hopscotch. Over here to my spot, say she wanna party. On my mama, on my hood. Okay, you can go to our account and watch that again if you'd like, because it's super fun to watch, and I've watched it several times. So either way, social media marketing for your business is, metaphorically speaking, we've all been there. The difference for you is that we built Next Chapter Social so that we could help y'all get noticed without the steep learning curve.
So anyways, it goes on. Obviously, I didn't have enough room to put all the caption in there, but we walk them through it. So the moral of the story is if your content raises awareness that you exist by stopping the scroll for people that may not yet know you, then that's entertaining content. Okay. It can be an emotional story. It can be a funny viral reel. It could be a meme. And I'm going to show you that here. Entertaining content is best served through video or memes, which we did not show you any memes here. Everybody knows what a meme is. Maybe it's Ryan Gosling. It says, "Hey girl, I like what you're doing with your social media." Something like that, right? But it's funny, it stops the scroll. It is just a graphic. It's not as powerful as the viral reels, but I will tell you memes get shared often. So it's a balancing act. But I felt like the remixing of reels was more important. And at this time, I think I will just tell you that to get to the remix feature, when you have a reel on your phone, typically the remix is either a button above the caption and it'll say remix this reel, or you can go to the share feature, or you can go to the three dots. If you go to the three dots, and let me stop sharing for a second. Do you see the remix in the top middle? And you just click that. So it's very, very straightforward. The actual how to remix a viral reel is nothing more than going to your reels feed. And if a reel if you land on a reel, the remix feature will be in three different spots. Either a button above the caption that says remix this reel, or in the three dots. And sometimes you'll find it in the little send arrow. So look in all those three spots. I don't know why, but it shows up differently for different reels. So just play around with it. And once you click that, you'll see what to do from there. It's as easy as making a regular reel, but you're just going to put your own spin on the one that's there. So let me share my screen again and go back over to our post. Okay, so entertaining posts aim to highlight the pain points of your customers and offer a solution in an interesting and amusing way. Interesting or amusing. Again, it does not have to be laugh out loud hysterical. It just needs to be interesting too. So far, educate. You're establishing you as the expert. So when you educate your client on your product, your service, or your event, you're establishing yourself as an expert over that thing. You're inspiring them with your next post because that develops an emotional connection. It makes them think, oh, I see myself eating that cake or having that event, whatever. Entertaining them raises your awareness for the problem that you solve. So we've covered education, we've covered inspiration, and now we've covered entertainment. And you'll see that this is your 9-box billboard. And next class in 2 weeks will be the I for inform, informative, or informing. However you want to say that, you've got to inform your clients on the basics of your product, your service, or your event. So 3 out of 5 are done. Go back and watch the other 2. Stay tuned for the next 2. And thank you so much for being here.